Hello, I'm Martin, and I do voiceover.
I'm Joe, and I make websites.
And we want to see if we can become business friends with business people in just 5 minutes. It could be the start of an amazing business relationship.
Or it could be a complete and utter waste of time.
Still, it's only 5 minutes.
Start the
Timer.
Hello there. I'm really hoping you'd like to be our friend. Otherwise, this is going to be a really awkward waste of time. But could you tell us who you are and what do you do?
So I help people declutter and get organized, but I'm very holistic. So a lot of times people say, oh, someone who declutters just removes the physical stuff. But to me, it goes way beyond that. It's about our mental, emotional, relationship clutter. And clutter to me is anything that's preventing you from creating a home and life you love.
Okay, that sounds really cool. I'm going to ask a question about the physical side because it might get weird if this was the the physical side. What is the weirdest thing that you've ever decluttered?
Well, I would say not the weirdest. I'm going to go with the most awkward were sex toys.
Okay, yeah, I can see why that would be kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I handled it like a pro.
Yeah.
There's the pull quote for this episode.
We were just talking about decluttering in this house. My in-laws are starting to declutter in their later years to both help them, I guess, live a better, more free life, and also to help us so we don't have to dump it all in a skip afterwards. Do you get involved in that sort of decluttering?
Yes, so downsizing. And I recommend, well, first of all, the young kids today and even in my generation don't want your stuff. And something that people have gotten trapped in, and I don't know if it's true in your country, but the collectibles. And they think, oh, this is going to be valuable, and they aren't. So I see a lot of people trying to shove those off and get some money for that. But yeah, downsizing, the earlier the better.
Okay, related question. Do you want my collection of Beanie Babies?
I do not.
Okay, cool. I mean, at least
That's a
you're
great
honest.
example. And people thought, but I mean, I saw a post the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, it must have been 500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it take someone to sort of, when they've got a lot of physical decluttering to do, lots of stuff like collectibles, like Joe's Beanie Babies, how long does it take to sort of reprogram someone's mind for that physical declutter?
I've found with most people, once you start, the easier it becomes. But people can have a lot of resistance at the beginning. And, I run into people who haven't decluttered 10, 15, 20, 25 years. You've accumulated a lot of stuff. It's like anything. It's a muscle. You just have to exercise it. So it can depend on the amount of resistance. If someone has a memory attached to an item, that can be a big, hard struggle to let that go. So it really depends on their mindset, what it is they're decluttering. But what I always say is 10 minutes a day adds up to just over 60 hours in a year, and you can get a lot done in that time.
Did you find with the whole is Marie Kondo, wasn't it, and like Spark Joy and that sort of discussion that came in at maybe a couple of years ago, was that helpful to what you're doing, or did it actually make it more difficult?
Well, it's interesting. I did a podcast for 10 years and launched the same year, but I didn't have a husband who is a marketing pro. So I'm
Well,
here and Marie is everywhere else. But it really depends on the individual. I can't, holding something and asking, does it spark joy for me, does not work for me, but it has helped others. So it really is individual how you're going to declutter.
that's fair enough. Well, we're glad that you're here anyway. We didn't want Marie on. So what is your favorite room in the house?
My favorite room in the house, gosh, I'd probably say the bedroom, because we ended up moving back, buying my grandmother's house and doing some remodeling. So we got cats, we're cat people. So a bunch of cats, we've got a big bed, and everyone can just be together in the bedroom, and I can read, and it's my favorite space.
That's cool.
Nice.
If I was looking to declutter, like maybe a podcast co-host or something, how would I go about doing that?
Wow.
Well, you have to approach it. First of all, don't throw everything out. A big mistake that people make is they're just going to make decisions and you have to do it and let it go. And that's the worst thing that you can do. So I would say start a conversation. Have you found that the clutter is costing you something? Like, are you fighting with your spouse? Are you running around not finding your keys in the morning? And then ask them what they'll gain. Like, oh, we won't fight anymore. I'll have peace of mind. And start the conversation that way so they understand what it's costing them and what they'll gain.
Nice.
If you
Maybe we need to have a chat after this.
Yes. If you were dropped on a desert island and you could take 3 things with you, what would they be to help you survive?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, if you were dropped onto a desert island, and you could take 3 things with you to survive, what would they be?
Oh, to survive. Well, I guess I'd have to have food and water. Does that count as 2 or count as 1?
We'll have
One more.
Okay, a library of books.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice. Gone with the book hat to the library.
What do you think? Did we just spark a valuable new business relationship? Or should we have taken a coffee break instead?
Joe's good at that.
We'll be back soon to try to make more business friends. We're very lonely. Do you want to be our friend? Or maybe you could suggest someone we can chat to be friends with them. Drop us an email. friends@5mbf.co.uk.
Thank you, Julia. That was really interesting.
Oh, was it good? Okay, good. I thought it went well. I thought we had good. I was like, shut up, don't talk too long, but I enjoyed it. That was fun.
That's what I'm usually like to Martin. I'm thinking, shut up, don't talk too long. So it's funny that you mentioned the library books, because I was literally about to ask you what was the last book that you read as the timer was going down, and then you went there. But what I really wanted to ask was actually, like, how did you get started in this? Because it's quite a random thing.
It is. So I was had moved out from Los Angeles to North Carolina. I had a job, and it was the worst job I'd ever had in my adult life. And I knew pretty quickly that it was crazy. And I thought, well, I just don't want to get another job. So what can I do that uses my skills? I'm single. I've got to be able to support myself. And, I want to make a difference. And so I was like, organizing. And so I'll never forget, here in the U.S. is something called SCORE, which is retired business people who help mentor. Like, you say, hey, I need help with marketing. And you go, and it's free. And it's a really wonderful service for businesses. And I'll never forget, I had these two old guys, and they said, you want to do what? Like, to them, it was insane that this was even a business. And so I had looked at, I'd always people would help me, asked me to help them get organized. So I was like, well, I'll just turn that into a business. And I'm uptight. But then a transformation happened to me. Before I did my podcast, I'd interview people, body, mind, spirit experts. And I was like, you know what? It's really about the clutter. And I had this client who was like, can we just talk? And I said, sure. It's, you're paying me. It's all good. But what I found is in 3 hours, I usually work in 4-hour blocks. In 3 hours, we talked. And then the last hour, we got so much decluttering done. It was amazing because it was digging deeper, and I was like, it's more about the clutter than the organization.
That's interesting. And does it tend to be older people that you work with, or is it like all across the board?
Oh, all sorts. And I think the younger the better.
Yeah.
Because it's like you want to model these behaviors to your kids. I work with adults who never decluttered or were never taught those skills, and it is a skill to be able to let something go, right? So, yeah.
Cool. So on that note, I hate to break it to you, Martin, but I'm going to have to let you go. So